Ride a coach to Banbury Cross to see a fine lady upon a white horse, with rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. She shall have music wherever she goes. A goddess transcendent emerging from earth, encouraging harmony on the world's girth. Always she's there, but seldom is seen, a very fine lady, a very fine queen. Serenely she rides over meadow and vale, ensuring well-being to all on her trail, clad in a gown of the finest green moss, adoringly greeted at Banbury Cross.
Oh, hello everyone. My name is Slippy, and as you can see I'm a frog. I hope you're going to like this here film, because I will be hopping up every now and then. Sorry, but that was one of my corny jokes. I hope you'll forgive me for that. Now, I expect you've seen lots of frogs before, but I bet you didn't know that we're really Mother Earth's little spies, did you? Next time you see one of us, just you remember that. Well, our job is to keep an eye on what you humans call the environment. So we tell Mother Earth what's happening, and she can make sure that every living thing on this wonderful planet is all right. You all know how important that is, don't you? Well, when things are going all right in our part of the world, Mother Earth likes to celebrate by taking the form of a human being, and she rides on a white horse from East Anglia to Banbury Cross in Oxfordshire in England, which is where we are now. She always does this on the 1st of May. Unfortunately, there are times when things go wrong, such as when humans start fighting one another instead of being friends and enjoying life together. Now I'm going to tell you about a time when things went wrong, and that was called World War II. It was my job to keep an eye on a family from Essex in 1944 during something called the Blitz, when aeroplanes were bombing London and knocking all the buildings down. This is how their story began, when a little boy called Peter, with his older sister Peggy and their mum, had to leave their home and try to find somewhere else where they could live safely away from the bombs. What happened first was their dad put them on a train. over the bridge, then turn right, and then that takes you into the marketplace, and that's where the tea shop is. See if they can let you stay there, alright? Then, if you can, phone and let me know what happens. Alright, Vi? Goodbye, Vi. Goodbye, Peggy. Goodbye, Peter. Take care.
Goodbye, Al. You take care as well.
Banbury Station. Mind the doors. Now, when they got to Banbury, they went to the tea shop to see if they could stay there, but they couldn't, so they had to go to somewhere called a WVS reception centre. Now, WVS was an organisation called the Women's Voluntary Service that helped a lot of people during the war. They did a lot of good work. They stayed there overnight, and next morning a lady called Mrs. Hitchens phoned to say she could offer accommodation.
Oh, hello. Is that WVS? That sounds like Mrs. Edwards, isn't it? Nice to speak to you again. I hear you need accommodation for evacuees at the moment. Is that right? Well, I'd be only too happy to help again. We have room for a small family.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Hitchens. Nice to hear from you again. Yes, we're desperately in need of accommodation at the moment. It would be wonderful if you could help again. People are arriving all the time, but we have a small family who arrived yesterday. Hold on, I'll just get their name.
Oh, it's Barton.
Hello, yes. It will be a Mrs. Barton and her 2 children. She tells me that her husband works in London and will be staying there. If it's all right with you, I'll put them on the next bus and they will be with you in about an hour's time.
Oh, good. That sounds fine. The name is Barton, you say? All right, then. I shall look forward to meeting them in a little while. Goodbye, Mrs. Edwards.
This is a stop for North Aston. I hope you have a good holiday here. Cheerio.
Can you tell me the way to North Aston Hall, please? Yes, I can, my dear. It's not very far. If you go through that gateway just over there and follow down the lane, then just keep to the left as you go, and you'll come to the hall. You'll find it all right. You can't miss it. Oh, thank you very much. That's all right, my dear.
Goodness me, this can't be right. We could never afford to stay here. I think we made a mistake and we'll have to go back.
Oh, Andrew, that must be the Barton family. Hello, can I help you?
Oh yes, we're looking for this address, but I think we've come the wrong way.
Yes, that's right. I'm Mrs. Hitchins, and you must be Mrs. Barton. I was speaking to the WVS just a while ago. There's no mistake. In fact, we're just getting a room ready for you. Come along, you poor dears. You all look worn out. I hope you don't mind my daughter playing the piano while we talk, but she hopes to become a concert pianist one day and needs all the practice she can get. Stella, this is Mrs. Barton and her family, who will be staying with us for a while. Hello, how lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. You play the piano beautifully. A sister of mine is a pianist.
Well, it's lovely to meet you all. I do hope you will be happy here.
Hello, I'm pleased to meet you. This is my daughter Peggy and my son Peter.
Well, Peter, I have a son, Andrew, who's about your age. Perhaps you'd like to go and find him. He's somewhere around outside. Oh, that's one of our dogs. He's called Scamp, and he is one as well. Now stop barking, Scamp. That's enough. He just likes to say hello when he meets new friends, that's all. He won't hurt you, Peter. I'm sure you will soon be good pals. Now, please tell me a little about yourselves. You come from London, I believe.
Yes, we come from Ilford in Essex, which is not far from London. We came away in such a rush because of those awful bombs they're dropping. My husband just put us on a train and thought we might be able to stay in Banbury, at a tea shop we once visited.
Yes, I'm sure that was a very wise decision to make. I know only too well how dangerous it can be in London, with those awful bombs they keep dropping. I'm so sorry. Please do excuse me. My own dear husband was tragically killed in London by a bomb at the beginning of the war. This is his photograph on the mantelpiece.
Oh, I am so sorry. How dreadful for you.
Yes, but life goes on, and we have to do what we can. You have a sister who plays the piano, you say. Where does she live?
Yes, actually I have two sisters who both live quite near to our home. The one who plays the piano lives by herself in Barking, but my other sister is married and has 3 sons. I believe they've already been evacuated.
Well, aren't you worried about her staying there on her own, Mrs. Barton?
Well, yes I am, but as I say, we had to come away in such a hurry that there was nothing we could do for her.
Well, why don't you ask her if she'd like to come and stay here for a while until things get better in London?
That's extremely kind of you, Mrs. Hitchins. Yes, I'll write to her straight away. Well, yes, I could certainly help with the general housework and cooking, Mrs. Hitchins. It really is very generous of you to let us stay here.
Oh, that's absolutely wonderful, Mrs. Barton. I think while this dreadful war is on, we should all do what we can to help one another. Well, I'm sure you would like to go and get settled into your room now. I'm afraid it's a bit makeshift because it's really our library, but I think you will find it quite comfortable. And there's a room upstairs that you can have, Peggy. Stella dear, perhaps you would show her where it is. You know, the spare one next to yours. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really must get on with some important correspondence that I'm struggling to type. I really am useless at typing, and it takes me ages.
Oh, I'm a qualified typist, Mrs. Hitchins, and I would love to help if you will let me. I really could do with some practice.
Goodness me, are you really? What a stroke of luck. Yes, of course, my dear. I would be delighted if you would help. That's absolutely wonderful. I can see that we are all going to get along very well together.
We got them. We got them. Yes.
Who are you? If you're a spy from the village gang, you are a prisoner now, because you are in our territory and on private land here, you know.
No. I've only just got here with my mum and sister. I'm in evacuee because of the war.
How do we know he ain't a spy? He looks like one to me.
No, I'm not, honestly.
Well, what's your name then? And where have you come from?
My name's Peter, and I've come all the way from Ilford in Essex where we live. Well, it's not far from London, and we escaped by train. We nearly got killed by bombers.
Yes, we know about bombs because our father was killed by a bomb in London at the beginning of the war. They're awful.
Now, for our mega lithium test, you've got to put one hand on the church wall and the other hand on the hall. Well, can you feel anything?
Oh yes, I can feel the buildings. Oh, wait a minute, my hands are going all tingling. Okay, that's good. You passed the test. Now you can be one of us.
Oh, well, poor old Peter got a bit of rough treatment there, didn't he, getting caught in their Robin Hood trap like that, and then having the megalithium test to see how good his spirit was. Mr. Smith, the vicar, were always talking about the wartime spirit of the people, which he called megalithium, and he reckoned you could feel it in the stones of the church. Well, Peter soon got friends with all the other children living at the hall and joined in all their games. And one of the games they liked to play most was musical chairs on roller skates, because Mrs. Hitchins let them play in the hall when it was raining. Trouble was the skates didn't fit Tanya, so she had to use her hobby horse, but she cheated by tripping the others up with it.
Oh bother, I thought we would be able to build a new secret den today, but it's raining. We'll have to stay indoors, so what shall we do? I know. Why don't we do some roller skating? Mother doesn't mind if we use them indoors when it's raining. That's a good idea, Rachel. I'll get them out of the cupboard.
not fair, Tanya. You tripped me up. Yeah. This is very fun. This is very fun. Yeah. This is very fun. This is yay. This is as fun as it can be. This is the funnest thing in the whole universe. This is the whole funnest thing. Yeah. It's fun. It's fun.
Good, it has. Now we can go and build our hideaway in the top field. Good. Those branches are just what we need, but only bring the straight ones. Let's build it over there near those trees. I reckon we've made a good job of this. There's lots of room in here, and it's well camouflaged, so I don't think the village gang will find it easily.
What's camouflage?
Well, it's a way of making things less noticeable. My brother John was telling me about it the other day. It's what the army does by painting their tanks and lorries brown and green to match the countryside. Don't you think it would be a good idea to have a lookout post as well, so that we can see if any of the village gang are around?
Yes, that's a good idea, Rachel. We can fix a rope ladder up into
Yes,
that
I can make
tree
one,
over
because
there.
my brother showed me how to do it. We'll have to get some rope from the stables.
Right. Well, I reckon we've made a good job of this rope ladder, don't you? Just right for our lookout. I'm going to go up and try it out. Hope I don't fall down. Wow, it's really good up here. You can see for miles. I can see your cottage at the bottom of the drive, Iris. And the Somerton Road. I'm coming down now. Oh, help! It's swinging about too much. It's ever so difficult. Oh no! I'm falling! What are you laughing at? Why don't you have a go and see how you get on then? Hey, I just thought of something. Don't you think it would be a good idea if we have one of us in the lookout post to warn the others in the den whenever any spies or enemy are about? I think I know how we can do it, because I saw in a comic how you can make a telephone with 2 tin cans and a bit of string. We could fix it up from the lookout to here in the den, couldn't we?
That sounds good. Let's see if Mrs. Cox has got any old tin cans. Have you got 2 old tin cans we can have, please, Mrs. Cox?
Well, I don't know, Master Andrew, but I might have. I'm not sure if you can have them all, because they have to be used in the war effort to make the aeroplanes and things.
But we need them to make a telephone.
Well, I don't know.
But we've got to have two, Mrs. Cox. Can't we have one of those full of baked beans for our lunch?
Well, I don't know about that, Master Andrew, because of rationing. But if I do, you better not tell no one.
So thanks, Mrs. Cox. That's great. Now I have to find a long piece of string.
Well, I haven't got none here, Master Andrew, but Mr. Cox will have some down in the kitchen garden.
So thanks, Mrs. Cox.
Look, I've got two big cans for our telephone.
Yeah, but how am I supposed to open this here tin of baked beans?
That's easy. Look, I've got a tin opener on my penknife.
Yes. Well, perhaps we could find some other things to eat with those baked beans, Iris. I know where there are some mushrooms. I'll show you. Look, they're just down there, Iris. Come on. Oh, they're nice ones, aren't they, Iris? I don't think we need too many, though. Hey, Iris, look, I think they fixed the telephone up. I'm going to go and give it a try out. Hey, this phone works well, Andrew. I can hear you very clearly. You're not eating those mushrooms raw, are you, Peter? Yes, I am. They taste quite nutty.
Let's have this pretty phone I just found.
Let's have a look. Hey, I don't think these are just any old stones, you know. I think they've been specially shaped like this by someone.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm not sure, but I think this is how mosaics are made, by using stones like this. I've been learning at school about how the Romans made lovely mosaic to decorate their homes with. What do you think, Peter?
Oh, I'm feeling all sleepy. Oh.
I like the taste of these acorns.
True, that's it. It's just like a mosaic that we were learning about us.
I know what it is. It's a genius.
I reckon we found a Roman mosaic that must have been here for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yes, we must be the first people to see it again after all that time.
I'm going to tell Mother what we found, and she might know someone who can tell us more about it. Yes, because it's been buried here for hundreds of years. How could anyone know anything about it? Well, my school teacher was telling us that there is something called archaeology, which is to do with ancient things that are dug up. And then there is a museum in Oxford where we might find out something. You all keep guard of the mosaic in case the village gang come while I go and tell Mother. Hey, wake up, Peter. Mother, you'll never guess what we've just found in the top 50.
Yes? Just a moment, dear. I'm trying to sort out some important correspondence to the War Office with Peggy. Found something? I can see that you've lost something. Where are your shoelaces?
I've used them for something else, Mother, but honestly I think we found something really important. Look at these stones. I think we've definitely found a Roman mosaic, and we want to find out more about it.
All right, Andrew. This had better not be another of your silly pranks. What makes you think these stones are from a Roman mosaic?
It's not a plank, Mother, because we found a part of the picture in the ground that looks like a horse. If you don't believe me, why don't you come and see?
Well, dear, I'm really very busy. All right, I'll come and see, but if you're wasting my time, you'll be in trouble. Please excuse me, Peggy, but I'll be back shortly. Hello, children. I do hope Andrew hasn't dragged me all the way over here for nothing. Where is it, Andrew? In here, you say? Goodness me, it certainly looks like a Roman mosaic, but I wonder if it really is a genuine one.
Of course it's genuine, Mother, and we want to find out more about it. Can we go to that museum in Oxford, please?
Oh, you mean the Ashmolean Museum? Well, yes, dear, that would be a good idea. Perhaps we could go there next Wednesday, because I have some other business to attend to in Oxford.
Well, can't we go right now, Mother?
Well, no, dear, we really can't, because in the first place it would need to make an appointment with the museum, and secondly, we can't just use our car for unnecessary journeys these days because of petrol rationing. That's why I think we should go on Wednesday, because I have to go on official War Office matters. I'll go and see if I can make an appointment with the museum curator now. You know, Peggy, I do believe the children have unearthed a genuine Roman mosaic. I'm just going to telephone the Ashmolean Museum to see if we can arrange to see somebody who knows about mosaics.
Say it's a ding-a-ling day in every way, not a cloud in sight and the sun shines bright, ding-a-ling-a-ling and we're all right. Oh, hello again. You caught me having a little sing-song then, didn't you? Well, I ain't got nothing to do today, so I thought I'd come up here and do a bit of sunbathing in their lookout. Small and Tanya have gone down to the river at Somerton with their mum and dad for a picnic and a bit of fishing, and the others have gone with Mrs. Hitchens to the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford to see if what they found is a real Roman mosaic. It's quite exciting, isn't it? Well, it's nice and quiet up here, so it gives me a chance to think up some frog jokes. Would you like to hear one? No? Well, alright, but I'm going to tell you anyway. First one is, how do us spy frogs send secret messages? You don't know, do you? By Morse toad. Do you get it? Morse toad. Oh well, you didn't laugh much at that, so I'll try another one. What do you call a young frog from Poland? You never get it. A tadpole. That were a bit better, weren't it? No, not just a tad. Oh, all right. Well, please yourselves. I'm having a nap now. See you all later.
Well, it is nice to see you again, Hermione, and to meet you children. Now, I understand you've made an interesting discovery that you think could be a Roman mosaic. Is that right? Hold on, everyone. Let's have just one at a time, shall we? Now, Andrew, perhaps you would like to start.
Yes, sir, we did. We found lots of these stones making a picture, but we only uncovered a little bit so far.
Well, well, I do believe you may have found something very interesting indeed. These stones are definitely the same as others that have been found in the Oxfordshire area. They're made from old Walton marble, if I'm not very much mistaken. And you say there is a horse shown on the mosaic?
Well, I don't want you all to get too excited about this, and of course I can't be sure until we've carried out an inspection. But I can tell you, it is just possible you may have found the site of a very important Roman temple that we've known about for a long time, but have never been able to find. We've been searching the North Oxfordshire area recently because we had a Roman artefact found in East Anglia suggesting that a goddess, worshipped by the Romans, was reputed to make an annual journey by horseback to a place which we now know as Banbury Cross. The theory is that there must have been a Roman temple erected in her honour somewhere in the Banbury area, but nothing like it has ever been found. From our understanding, the goddess was actually an earth goddess who remains in the earth except for one day each year when she reveals her human form on May Day. She's supposed to make her way across from East Anglia, showing her gratitude to everyone who cares about the earth and its human and wildlife inhabitants. You know, children, it really is important to protect the delicate balance of our environment. But perhaps you don't understand what I mean.
And I'm going to be a farmer when I grow up so that I can help to look after the environment.
That's very good, my boy. But perhaps we should get back to talking about the mosaic. Now, you think there may be more of it to be uncovered. Well, in that case, I must ask you not to touch any more of it until we've carried out a careful examination, because in my experience, these sorts of artefacts are sometimes quite fragile and need careful treatment. With your help, Hermione, I should like to carry out a preliminary inspection as soon as possible. Perhaps next Friday morning, if that's all right with you?
Yes, that would be perfectly all right, Professor.
Right then, I shall look forward to seeing you all again on Friday.
Well, that's the end of the first part of our story, and I hope you enjoyed meeting all the characters. That Tanya is a right little madam, isn't she? You won't believe the adventures they have when, because of her, they accidentally all go to the Great Pyramid and find lots of treasure. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy seeing all their adventures, because by doing this you are helping people all around the world to live happier lives by making money for WaterAid just because you're watching this film. Thank you very much. Goodbye for now.